today's episode, we will be talking about the Memphis Grizzlies as we continue our team preview series. And for the first time ever, we will have our top 5 DD plays of the week. The Dropping Dimes podcast starts about now. Yes, sir. So, for everyone who is new to the channel and watching our videos for the first time, please subscribe and hit on the notification bell so you can always follow the Dropping Dimes podcast. All our episodes are all available either on Facebook and YouTube, and sometimes on Instagram as well. And also, if you like the video, please like and also comment your thoughts and share the video as well. So as mentioned, we will be talking about the Memphis Grizzlies today. So for all those who are willing to follow our podcast, you can follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter. And then there are also episodes that are some of the episodes are also available on Spotify and Anchor. Also catch us there. Let's now go to the storylines. So follow the Memphis Grizzlies at memgrizz on Instagram. So these are the storylines for the Grizzlies. Morant had a super rookie season. Looks like a lock to be a superstar in this league. They still have Jaren Jackson. He's only 20 years old. Another guy with massive potential. And then they acquired Gorgie Jang during the mid-season trade deadline. Another rookie who played really well for them, Brandon Clark from Gonzaga. Incredible length. Then the former Spur, Kyle Anderson, is still with them. Who else? They still have Jonas, Valanciunas, providing them with the interior presence. And then, yes sir, Dylan Brooks. Still very much with the Grizzlies, even though, of course, he thought he was traded and then he wasn't. And then Anthony Melton, he signed that big contract this preseason or off season rather. And then they still have Tyus Jones, the former Duke Blue Devil. They also acquired former Duke Blue Devil and Miami Heat player Justice Winslow. So let's hope Justice Winslow will be healthy so he can contribute to the Grizzlies. And their rookie from Texas Christian University, Desmond, Bane. Yes. And then we have Grayson Allen, the nifty guard from Duke, still with the Grizzlies. Okay, so these are the things that we need to remember about the Grizzlies. By the way, their logo is via sportslogos.net. So the Grizzlies had a 34-39 record. We really thought they would be the ones playing the Lakers, but they kind of struggled in the bubble. They were inconsistent. Taylor Jenkins did a good job during his first season with them. The expected win-loss was 34-39, and that's exactly what they got. Their attendance wasn't so good, even though Morant was, obviously a superstar player and an exciting player to watch. In terms of their offense, they were 14th in the league. They averaged 112.6 points per game, and then they gave up 113.7. They were 21st there on the defensive end. What really made the Grizzlies special was their pace. They were 6th in the league. That's elite. Offensive rating, they were 20th, and their defensive rating, they were 15th. Now, let's proceed to their schedule. So they already had their first game against the Minnesota Timberwolves a while ago. So they won 107-105. Morant was again super special as always. They'll play the Timberwolves again at the Target Center before playing the Atlanta Hawks at the at their home court. No, this is their home court. Yes, the FedEx Forum. This is the home court of the Grizzlies. Now let's look at their key additions. So their key additions are all rookies: Desmond Bane, Xavier Tillman, Killian Tilly, and Jaleel Tripp. Of course, we're kind of sure about Desmond Bane. He was their first round pick. They actually just acquired him, right? They didn't really have a first round pick, but then they traded for Desmond Bane, and then they drafted Xavier Tillman. We don't really know about Killian Tilly and Jaleel Tripp. So what does this say about the Grizzlies? They have probably the most intact team in the league, and that really doesn't happen often because players usually come and go. But let's look at their key returning players. Look at this! Wow, so they're bringing in practically the same team. Probably they thought that their key additions really were already Gorgie Cheng and Justice Winslow, two guys that they acquired during the trade deadline. So look at this. They still have John Moran, Jaren Jackson, as mentioned, Jeng and Winslow, Jonas Valanciunas, signed the Anthony Melton, Tyus Jones is their backup point guard, Brandon Clark, up and coming young player for them, Dylan Brooks as well, Kyle Anderson, and Grayson Allen. So they're very confident about this core group. That's why they're keeping them. Okay, now let's proceed to their team stats, courtesy of basketballreference.com. For all the updated stats, basketballreference.com is the way. So let's look at the team stats. So this is just to make a point, right? When it comes to their offense, they were pretty decent. They averaged 40. They were the 14th best team in terms of points. When it comes to their field goal percentage, they were 7th. When it comes to their 2-point percentage, they were 7th as well. And that also comes, I think that's also a byproduct of the fact that John Morant is a guy who really attacks the basket, right? So that's the reason why they get their points mostly from inside. Then they were also second in assists and 5th in blocks and rebounds, total rebounds. So that's pretty good. They can, of course, improve on their 3-point shooting. They were only 23rd. Now, when it comes to their defense, it's not like they were bad, but this is something that they have to improve on if they would really try to make it again or try to make a push to make it to the playoffs. They were only 21st in points allowed, and opponents really had an easy time scoring on them, especially when it comes to their 3-point percentage, as they were only 24th. So it was so easy for opponents to hit the threes on them. Okay. And what else? When it comes again to their advanced stats, 15th in defensive rating and 20th in offensive rating. Let's now go to their player stats. Okay, so for their player stats, John Morant averaged 17.8 points per game and 7.3 assists. He also averaged 4 rebounds per ball game while shooting 47.7% from the field. Ja can obviously work on the shot, especially from 3-point distance. He only shot 33.5%. Then Jay Crowder, he was traded together with Andre Iguodala. Of course, they became big parts for the Miami Heat run in the finals. But they did get Justice Winslow in return. Well, Justice Winslow wasn't really particularly healthy. They're hoping that he will be healthy enough this season so that he can start contributing for the Grizzlies. Now, Dylan Brooks had a solid season, 16.2 points per game for Dylan. Jaren Jackson, sophomore Jaren Jackson, is going to be an incoming third-year player already. It's 17 points per game. But I'm a little surprised he only averaged 4.6 rebounds. Jackson was always known for his shot blocking ability, so he averaged 1.6. That was expected. I'm just thinking of it this way, maybe because Ja rebounds as well. When Jay Crowder was playing with them, he was also rebounding. And of course, this guy, Jonas Valanciunas, 15 points, 11 boards. He's a double-double machine. They also have Brandon Clark, right? Oh, look at this. 12 points and 6 boards per ball game and almost 1 block. Pretty solid. Now, a lot of people are asking about D'Anthony Melton. Why did he get that big contract? Probably they're seeing potential, even though the numbers don't really say so. He only shot 29% from 3, only 40% from the field, only 7.6 points per game. In other words, not really blowing numbers here from D'Anthony Melton, but they're the ones who know what they're getting from him, right? They're the ones developing him. So I think that's what they're looking at. They're also looking at Gorgie Jang and the 2 other Duke Blue Devil players, Tyus Jones and Grayson Allen, to continue developing for them. Grayson Allen, in spite of all the noise, actually averaged 8.7 points per game. Kind of found his niche here with the Grizzlies. So, congrats to Grayson Allen. Okay, let's now go to my thoughts and predictions regarding the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies were 9th in the West. Now, if we're going to look at the teams that made it to the playoffs, it was OKC that, of course, because of all the rebuilding that they're now going to be going through, so they gave up all their players except for the young guys like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So there will be like one sure spot that will be vacant there. But then the Phoenix Suns are also there. And the Phoenix Suns did not make the playoffs as well last year. So that will be a really tough out. You might be thinking, well, the Houston Rockets, James Harden wants out. Yes, I know, but then John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins played really well. And if they will stay healthy, the Houston Rockets will be pretty okay as well. So it will be a tough scenario for the Grizzlies. I don't know if it's going to be a sure thing for them to make it. Especially because they didn't really add any significant veteran player. What they're hoping is that Ja Morant will, just go from super rookie to probably all-star level kind of player by this season. But then the West is just deep. And you still have the Pelicans. Then you have the Suns, all vying for that 8th seed. So, of course, my best case scenario for the Grizzlies is they make the playoffs, whether it's 7th or 8th seed, maybe a 6th seed, if that's even possible. We don't really know. Well, they have to be more consistent, especially on the defensive end. But then, worst case scenario is that they're not gonna make the playoffs again, and it will be a disappointing season if they don't make the playoffs again. It would be nice to see Ja Morant play in the playoffs. I think the X factor for them will be Justice Winslow. He's a guy who, they traded Crowder and Iguodala to get this guy. So if he is healthy and he can provide them with the numbers that we all know he can, produce, then he can be that X factor for this Grizzlies team. We would also hope that Ja Morant can be more consistent, especially with his outside shooting. Okay, so those are my thoughts and predictions for the Memphis Grizzlies. Now we have a new segment, guys. Dimers, we have a new segment, and it's called the DB Plays of the Week. So the preseason already started. So not really the week, but rather just the week. So these are the top plays of the preseason so far. Yeah, so let's start with the top plays at number 5. Let's look. Oh, we have Taylor Horton Tucker. Yes, sir. Showing us the strength. Young fella. LeBron loving it. Now let's go to number 4. At number 4, we have the Grizzlies block party. Here we go. Gorgie Jam. This was your game a while ago. Here we go. There's a block party. This is what I'm talking about. The defense has to improve, and they were very, very much committed during their first preseason game. Now let's go to number 3. So at number 3, we have Boom! Miles Bridges. Oh my goodness. Skying for the exclamation, even though they lost. But Miles Bridges. OMG, look at it one more time for Miles Bridges. Now let's go to number 2. Okay, well, what is in store for us for number 2? We have all the nifty passes of LaMelo, the dime dropper ball. See, just one game into the NBA and he already has a nickname. Keep diming LaMelo. That's what I'm talking about. Keep dropping those dimes and look at this. This is super. Oh my goodness. LaMelo Ball has elite vision and elite passing skills. Reminds me a lot of a young Penny Hardaway. Indeed. Wow. LaMelo is special. And of course, at number 1. Let's now go to number 1. Who is at number 1? Yes, sir. The greatest shooter of all time is back. And Steph. Oh my goodness. Launching from wherever. And it's still nothing but net for Steph Curry. Okay. So those are the top plays of the weekend. Let's now go to our shout outs. So of course, special shout outs to my former philosophy professor, Professor Diego Odchimar, number 1 fan of the Grizzlies. I told him when I was making already the episode for the Grizzlies, and I will surely mention him. So good luck to your Grizzlies, sir. I hope it all works well for Morant, Jaren Jackson, and the rest of the Memphis Grizzlies. Okay, so as we end this episode, if you like the episode, please do not forget to hit on the like button, share your thoughts, and share the video as well. And then, of course, if you're just new to the podcast, please do not forget to click on the subscribe button and hit on the notification bell. So that is it for our episode. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you again on the next episode of the Dropping Dimes podcast by J.I. Dimes. Keep safe, everyone.